All right, welcome everybody. It's Tameless Podcast. New episode today. I got a special guest, Mayde Mersal, my little bro.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
I'm excited to have him in today.
I'm excited to be here.
So what do you think of the setup, man?
I love the setup. I think it's a beautiful setup. I'm so happy to be here, to be honest. One of the things that makes me so happy is, you're my bro, but you're also my mentor. And I'm excited to ask you so many questions about, dentistry and stuff. For those of you who don't know, my name is Mayde Mersal. I'm a recent dental graduate from abroad, from outside of Canada. And I was hoping to get some wisdom from Dr. Joey here. Dr. Joey's a dentist. He's been practicing dentistry for about 10 years now, was it?
Yeah, 15, but who's counting, right?
Who's counting? So Dr. Joey here has been licensed in Canada, even though he's been trained abroad. So he's a dentist. What do they call it? Internationally trained dentist.
Trained dentist, yeah.
Yeah, and he's been practicing here in Canada for about 15 years. And so I just had some questions, if you don't mind, Joey. Why Canada, first and foremost?
That's it's home.
It's home.
Yeah, it's home. So when I graduated back in Libya, and being a Canadian, right? So my first option was after working, 15 years. Some of it was in between North Africa, Libya, and some of it was in Cyprus. And I was going for my master's degrees in orthodontist.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, I decided that Canada should be the option, And a friend of mine told me about the process and how to become an international trained dentist in Canada.
Did the money play any role in your decision?
Yeah, true. That's a big factor.
Yeah, it is. It is a big factor.
Yeah. Dentists are paid very good in Canada.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's a good career.
That is
for sure.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I keep hearing a lot about, and I'm not sure where to start, but the NDEB. What does that mean? Like, what's the pathway for an internationally trained dentist to become a Canadian licensed dentist? What's the route?
Yeah.
And what's NDEB?
Oh man. Where do we start? In order for you to become a dentist, you have to go through the NDEB. That's like that's the first four letters you get to hear when you want to start the process. It's
Right.
like, you got to register for the NDEB. It's the National Dental Board exam that it's basically a body that regulates you and registers you as a candidate to start your process towards equivalency, right? To become a dentist, to become a licensed dentist to practice dentistry in Canada.
Okay, so you have to sign up with the NDEB. And then are there any exams you need to take in order to be a licensed dentist here in Canada as an international dentist?
Yeah, of course. So once you do that registration, it's basically you opening a profile with NDB.
Okay.
You pay a fee, and then they give you an ID number.
Uh-huh.
You take the ID number, and you open the profile. You get access to 3 exams.
Okay.
First exam is AFK,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically a pool of knowledge.
Okay.
Second exam, a pool of knowledge, like you don't go into the basics.
Okay.
So it's like 3rd and 4th year dentistry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's more like clinical, like actual cases. So you don't have to know your biochemistry. You don't go to the 1st and 2nd year of dentistry.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's the first exam is the AFK. And then you said there are 3 exams?
Yeah, and then the second exam is basically called ACJ,
Mm-hmm.
which is more like clinical based.
Okay.
So you do like 60 x-rays, diagnosis, like do you find caries, like whatever, x-rays and stuff.
Okay.
The second part is like a multiple questions
Mm-hmm.
that is clinical based, full clinical, like you in the office kind of work.
Okay.
So like what would you do in an emergency case? Like would you call 911 for this patient? Would you give him an injection of epinephrine if he has a heart failure. This kind of stuff,
Okay.
which is fun. I find the second exam is quite fun, and then
Uh-huh.
you have the third exam, which
Okay.
is clinical skills, right? So
Mhm.
you want to be eligible to work as a dentist in Canada. So you have to show all three categories: your basic knowledge of third and fourth year. That's
Okay.
AFK. Second is the clinical. Third is basically your hands-on exam. Which
Okay, it's a practical exam.
it's more of a practical exam. Yeah.
Okay. And what's the timeline there? So if I were to sign up for the NDEB, what would the timeline look like? Am I going to be able to do all three exams in 1 year, or is it going to take longer? Is it going to take shorter time?
Yeah, that depends, right? So I think the longest period of time is when you start the process of registering. So you put all your documents between universities, they send the documents, you get verified. That process takes anywhere from 3 months to 9 months.
Okay.
And because of it's getting busy now, maybe up to a year.
Oh, wow. Up to a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, you start preparing for the first exam. And that normally takes about 6 months.
Okay.
6 months of good preparation.
And is there any specific courses that you take for preparation? We don't want any shout outs for any so no one's sponsoring this episode, by the way. But is there any like specific courses that you can take to prepare, or books that you can read in order to prepare yourself for the first exam?
Yeah, for sure. That's needed. Like there's books, references that is on the NDB website itself. That's very
Okay.
helpful. And of course, there's like centers and courses, like private courses
Okay.
that you can take. And normally they're up to like from 4 to 6 months period of time. And
Okay.
it really helps. Like it sharpens your knowledge. Make sure, you're up to speed. You're familiar with the style of questions. And I find it very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah. And my process, to be honest, I didn't know about these centers and beginning the process. So this information is really useful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like opening your eyes to like, okay, I want to prepare for this. I really need to give it the dedication and time.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
you would recommend taking a course before going ahead and taking any exams. What was is there anything that surprised you in the Canadian exams in general in comparison to like where you were training and everything like that? Like, is there anything that surprised you on how the Canada undergoes their examination? Would you say like it's different, it's similar to what you studied in university?
Yeah, it is similar.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, dentistry is dentistry, wherever
Right.
you do it.
Yeah.
What was the biggest surprise is the way it's structured in the passing rate.
The passing rate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which the passing rate is not about how tough or easy the question is. It's not like what we're used to in university. The exam comes,
Uh-huh.
you got to get 70%, you pass, or 60%, whatever it is. And if you fail, no, it's the more of there's a scale system,
Okay.
right? So everybody goes into the exam. The exam is extremely tough.
Ah.
You get 50% right. But
Okay.
in the same time, the scale of people that actually got better than you
Uh-huh.
are who passed the exam.
Okay.
you
So
know?
your grade is scaled to your peers.
Yeah, I think it's called Bell scale?
The curve, bell curve?
Bell curve.
Yeah, it's bell curved. Okay, so
Yeah.
the grade is bell curved. So ideally you'd want like idiots to take the exams with you.
Basically, the weaker the group, the better your
the
result.
better your chances are. Okay, all right. And then so this is for the exams. You said there are 3 exams that you need to take, and then once you pass all 3 exams, does that mean you're a licensed dentist? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so you finish the 3 exams.
Uh-huh.
And you were asking me about the time frame. So the time frame,
Okay.
you're looking at about 2.5 years. And that's like the average.
2.5 years. Okay.
2 years to 2.5 years. Some people do it in less, like a year and a half. Some people do it in more, like 3 years. So that's basically the time frame of like you taking all 3 exams. Once you're done with all 3 exams, you have to go face the NDBE board exam, which is
Okay.
the students that graduate from Canadian universities plus the international students. Both
Okay.
of them take that exam.
Okay. All right. So, and then after that, you start working.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of
After
personal?
that, after that, you apply for your license.
Oh, okay. Okay. So after that, you apply for your license.
Yeah,
Once you get your license, that's when you start applying for jobs.
exactly. So
Uh-huh.
you finish the board exam, you get your license, okay, and then you apply to the province you want to work in.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you get that license, you apply for jobs. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Now, I have a couple of questions in regards to the exams themselves. Would you say, would you say they're cheap? Are they expensive? Like, how can you get financing for that, for the exams? I know they're quite hefty in terms of pricing. Is there any options that you can, can you apply for a loan in order to do these exams? Or do you recommend working while studying? Is that what are the options? And what have you done personally? Let's start with that.
Okay. So yeah, for sure, they're quite expensive.
They're expensive. How
Yeah.
expensive are we talking? Like 50K over on
You talking about the total process? Or
total
you're talking-
process? Yeah.
Total process, yeah, anywhere between, and I'm talking being really tight. Like, I'm not talking about living expenses. I'm talking about
Just
only
exams.
just exams.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're talking about you need at least around 25K.
25,000.
Yeah,
Just exams.
just exams.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's without preparatory courses or
That's-
anything.
So let's say first exam is $1,000.
Okay.
Second exam you're looking at $2,500,
Okay.
and then the third exam is around 10K.
Okay.
So around what? What's the total?
That's 15, give or
So,
take.
yeah,
like 15,000 plus tax.
Yeah, 15 plus tax. And then so yeah, you're looking at about 15,000 just for exams. Yeah.
Just for exams, and then you need like preparatory courses, so maybe another 15,000. That's for your
Yes, exactly. So preparatory courses you're looking about like 5 for the first exam, around 4,000 for the second exam, and around 20K for the third exam. Because-
20,000.
Yeah.
What?
Because now you're talking your clinical skills, right? So you have
Okay.
to provide all that. So in total, you're looking at around
35, something
35
like that.
to
Yeah.
40K.
And so how would a person, like, let's say, me, I'm coming from Libya, how would I be able to afford something like that? Should I start working, take a year off to work, save up some money, and then maybe do my exams?
Yeah, that. So if you asked me that question back in my time when I
Uh-huh.
first started the equivalency, back then, it was a little bit more difficult because now
Uh-huh.
there's a great program by CIBC Bank.
CIBC Bank, okay.
Yeah, which helps open up doors, right? They have loans for international trained students that can really help from a finance perspective. There's other loan way, like getting loans in international dentist category, that really helps as well.
Okay.
So I think that changed the game because at my time, when I first started the equivalency, that wasn't a thing.
That was not a thing. Okay.
Yeah. So you had to work. You had to you make sure you provide for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you working?
Yeah. I was working Uber. I was working in a warehouse. Thank God for Uber. Shout out for Uber. That changed.
Shout out to Uber. Okay.
That changed a lot because before Uber, because I started right before Uber was becoming a thing.
Okay.
So Uber gave you the flexibility of time.
Uh-huh.
When I first started my AFK exam, Uber wasn't around. I was working in Lush, and I was working in Iron Man.
What is that?
It's like a storage company.
A storage company.
Yeah.
What were you working like?
So basically, they give you a roll of stickers, and you go ahead. You start grabbing the boxes. It's a warehouse for storage information like files and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then we take them to the shredding company and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it was difficult because you had to clock in at 7 a.m. You clock out at like 2:30, and then you have to go to the course from 3 to 6
Okay.
p.m.
It's a struggle, huh?
Yeah. So when Uber came,
All
That
right,
changed
let
the
me shift the conversation a little bit. Do you think it was worth it, the struggle? Because I know you struggled a lot, especially with like Uber, with working part-time jobs, full-time jobs at warehouses and all that. But at the end of the day, was it all worth it?
Oh my God, man. It's like during that process, every day I was like, is it worth it? That question hits you.
Yeah.
You know, you look at yourself every day and you're like, okay, like this exam, I gotta do this, I gotta study. You know, is it worth it? I was a dentist back home, like, you know, things were good. Yeah, I have zero regrets where I am today. Like, it was the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The money's good.
the money's good.
The money's good.
The flexibility of life, the challenge, and it taught me something. It's like it taught me to really sit down and challenge yourself. I became a better dentist. I learned a lot in the process.
Yeah.
It made me respect the career way more.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, no regrets, 100%.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. Well, since we're on the jobs aspect of things, so let's go back to licensing, right? So you got your license, the job market. What was it like? How easy was it to get your first job as a dentist? And was there any hurdles on your way as an international graduate versus a Canadian graduate? Like, do you think there was any source of discrimination or anything like that?
Yeah, that was something that was processing. Like you process it when you're in the exams, right? When you're doing the equivalency,
Okay.
you're like, okay, man, like the amount of work I had to put in my clinical skills to tackle that, you know, third exam was it's a challenge, right? Like
Mhm.
you're done with that, and you're like, okay, dentistry should be like that. It taught you to appreciate your hand skills. And when it comes to the work field, I feel like there's no difference. You're actually bringing a good amount of experience.
Okay.
Yeah, I was so scared that okay, if I apply to a work field, let's say in an office somewhere
Right.
in Toronto,
Uh-huh.
what's the chances of them picking me over someone that graduated within Canada? I think the chances are the same.
So there's no difference.
There's no difference whatsoever.
Because you feel like they bring you up to speed with the
Exactly.
equivalency process so that you're just as good as any Canadian trained dentist.
Exactly,
If not better.
100%. Yeah,
Not better.
because of the way the process is set up. It really takes the elite.
Uh-huh.
You know, something that I have to put out there is this process is made for you to really get your skills up to the elite level. You're
Mhm.
going to become a very, very good dentist, you know,
Mhm.
because of the process. Passing rates are 25% per year,
Right.
you know?
Right.
A lot of people got washed out.
Some people would say that's unfair, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not good enough.
Yeah, you're not. It's just basically it.
You're just not good enough.
You know how many times I heard that word in my process?
Yeah, you're just not good enough.
Yeah, my skills exam. I was walking in doing the best amalgam cast cap build up that I can do, and you know the instructors over there is like, you're just not good enough.
You're just not good enough. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your first job. So you got your license. Where did you first work, and why did you want to work there?
Yeah, I talked a little bit about that on one of the episodes, you know, but
Okay.
yeah, so it's crazy. Like as soon as I got my license, I was like, where do I want to work, right? Like I got my license, I'm hyped. I
Yeah.
applied for Ontario. I got my license in Ontario. So I'm like, okay, I want to get the most experience on understanding the Canadian system. I know my clinical skills. You know, I've been working as a dentist. This is not my first. I know how to drill teeth, do crown preps, whatever. But I want to get the customer experience.
Okay.
So I decided, okay, am I going to stay in Toronto or am I going to... So I was like, okay, you know what? I want to apply for something that I'm the only dentist or within a range of like a small community that I can really, you know, dedicate my time plus pay back the crazy amount of loans I took to get through the exams.
Right. The credit cards are all maxed out, huh?
Yeah, so that's when I was looking at jobs and I was like, okay, there's a job 14 hours outside of Ontario. I apply
Okay.
on the job. He
Uh-huh.
calls me 3 hours later.
Wow, you must be the only one who applied.
It's 14 hours in a small town called Manitouwadge 14 hours away from Toronto.
People tend to not want to work that far away. Yeah.
It's crazy. I asked people in Toronto, like, do you ever know where Manitowoc was in the map before? I didn't even know where it exists. Like, but it was exciting because I was the only dentist
Okay.
in a radius of 500 kilometers. And I was working for someone that's going to be a really good mentor.
Oh, mentorship. Okay.
And that changed everything.
Would you say that mentorship is more important, especially when starting off? Would you say it's more important than the money that you're going to make is having a good mentor?
Oh my God, man.
Like, would you
Maybe.
sacrifice? How much would you sacrifice in a paycheck?
Oof.
Like per month. So let's say you're going to make 25, 30,000 a month. How much would you sacrifice for having a good mentor?
I would sacrifice 20.
Put him on the spot there.
20%. 20%.
20%, yeah? So, yeah, you
Yeah.
don't mind sacrificing 20%.
You know, that's a really good question, man. It's something that a lot of people actually don't focus on, you know, because when you finish, you get your license, you're like, am I going to work corp? You know? But they're going to pay me really good.
They're going to pay you really good, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or you're going to work in an office with a mentor, one-on-one connection, like an owner of the office or
Right.
even investor is an investor dentist that owns like 5, 6, 10 offices,
Right,
but has the time to really sit down with you and guide you.
right.
Yeah, that's a game changer. I would never change it to the world.
You would
Like,
give 20% for that.
I'll give 20%.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Did you end up giving 20% for that?
No, I actually gained 20% because what happened is when I started working in Manitowoc, I was the only dentist in
The radius,
like,
yeah.
in the
the
radius,
area.
like 3 hours away is the other dentist. So I was like in a point where, not only that, it was a town where I was, my strongest skills are surgical skills. Like that is
Extractions and
extractions,
stuff.
complicated
Okay.
extractions, wisdom extractions, that kind of stuff. And in that area, it was a lot of extractions. It was a mine workers, rocks falling on their face, crashed teeth, accidents, and there was a lot of extractions. So I'm like, it's perfect. Yeah, which gave me an edge up on most of the other dentists in the radius because most of them were newly graduates
Okay.
trying to pay back their loan because the payment was better.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't have the experience of an international dentist that used to work back where, in Libya we do a lot of extraction.
Right, right. Especially, yeah. No, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Especially in Libya, we have a lot of surgical procedures.
How's your experience on the skills now?
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of internationally trained dentists, they get a lot of experience from seeing so many patients because dental work is so much cheaper outside, right? So we get so much access. Like
Yeah. How
I
many
would
cases?
extract, yeah. Like I
How
would
many RCT cases did you do?
oh man, like at least like 40 in the last year alone, right? Like
Yeah.
easily, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're doing all kinds of molars, premolars, and a lot of internationally trained dentists agree with that, right?
Yeah.
They're all pretty good, especially with the skills part. I think where we lack is the like the ethics department, where communications department. There's a language barrier, especially with exams and stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of skills, we're good. At least for me, I'm pretty good.
True. No, that's it. I'm impressed, man. You send me those,
The cases,
2-6 root canal done and stuff like that's.
Yeah.
That's challenging and yeah. So but back to the point of that job, it's like it gives you an edge up, and I would give up 20% easily, 100%. No
Okay.
regrets.
And then how long were you an associate for before you decided? Because I know you own 2 clinics right now. How long were you an associate before you decided to own your own clinics?
I associated for a total of 2 years.
2 years.
2 years, but under one of I won't say one of the greatest mentors, because
Are we allowed to mention him, or let's just not say his
shout
name?
out to AJ Gupta.
Shout out to AJ Gupta.
A big mentor. So
Dr. AJ.
yeah, he helped me a lot because I was put in a situation where the office didn't have an office manager,
Okay.
and then COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
We had, hygienists leaving left, right, and center, everybody retiring, big fear, what's going on. So that taught me that, okay, I'm stuck in Manitowoc for another year because, I got rent to pay.
Right.
I got a contract that I signed.
Right.
How am I going to be able to help run the show? So he's like, okay, Joey, we're going to start doing interviews. Can you hire someone at the front? So I went to a bar. That's actually what happened.
He actually
Small
went to a
town,
Tell me more.
Small town of 2,500 people.
Right.
One person that was a receptionist for 20 something years decided that she could quit. COVID hit. I'm done. I quit.
Okay.
Okay, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna find someone to run the front. But you know, churches, training, customer service, like there's a lot to learn.
Right.
Bad day. So I'm like, okay, how am I gonna find the only place that was open at night was this like a mini bar that had a pool table.
Oh my God.
So I go in, you know, I gotta open the office tomorrow. I got emergency patients, extractions and stuff.
Right.
You know, I'm
you
the
need
only
someone-
dentist in 200 kilometers, you know? So I go in and I'm like, okay, I signed this person at the bar and, you know, she was delivering everybody's food, the fries, the burgers. She had it all. She memorized it all. I'm like, how much are you getting paid?
straight
Like,
up, straight to the point.
$16 an hour. I was like, how about $20 an hour you start working at dental office? Is there a lot to learn? I'll teach you everything. Let's go. You know? And I
Yeah.
sat down with her 3 days in a row. Office, we're just doing basic emergencies, and I'm teaching her everything about insurances. She caught up so fast. She's still working in the office till today.
Wow.
Killing the front. She's like an office manager now.
Oh wow.
So it showed it taught me the skills of like, you know,
Recruitment,
recruitment, man.
recruiting the right team. Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
The right team.
And that's when you were still an associate, right?
Yeah, so I associated for 2 years.
And then what made you wanna own your own practice? Like what made you wanna own your own practice?
I think the eye opener was the gap between how the I won't call it corporate, but how the the dental investors that own multiple offices deal with their staff and how I want to deal with my staff.
Okay.
Plus, from my previous experience that I talked about before, trying to go through the process when I was going through the process of opening my dental office in Libya, and then when the war happened, it burned down and all that. It taught me the skill of, you know what, owning gives you the freedom of management, treating your staff. It's more freedom.
It gives you a lot more freedom.
100%.
Like creative freedom, like being able to give the staff what they deserve, kind of freedom.
Yeah. It give the staff what they deserve. You book your holidays. If you see that person working hard in your office and you want to give them a raise, you have the power of doing that.
Right.
You know, and the best thing is it's your team, right? Like
It's your own.
yeah,
You take a lot of pride in having your own thing, your own team.
exactly.
You care about those people.
100%.
You know what I
Like
mean?
I work as a team. You know, it's like my team is like, let's go. We work together. You know, and it's a great experience. You know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what made you want to start your own practice. But how did you go about that? Like, did you just go to a bank and they were okay with, like, did they give you a loan? Did you take a loan for the first practice? Did you buy it? Did you start it? Well, how did it go?
So what happened is, I was gonna buy into the office in North Bay.
Okay.
That's my first goal. That what opened my eyes to owning a dental office. It was like I was gonna buy in 50%.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy into the office.
You're gonna partner up with AJ.
Partner up with AJ.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, so I look into the books, I see everything, and I'm like, you know, and to be honest, this is one of the things that I give credit to, having a good mentor, like an honest one.
Right.
At a point where he came up to me, he's like, you know, you got everything that it takes for you to open your own practice. You sure you want to do this?
Okay.
You know, that was one of the things I was like,
That's very
No,
kind
but,
of him.
yeah, I don't want to deal with all this. Like, I see it's a lot,
Okay.
you know? And then that deal broke through. Now I got my kick. I was working in the process. I dealt with the banks and you know, getting the line of credits and whatever and stuff. And then the deal broke through. It got me in a place like, you know what? I may just start my own practice.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first process was go to a broker.
Okay.
The famous ones. You got a couple of them that are very famous and easy, that helps. And they start giving you what's in the market right now.
Like a dental office broker? Like
Yeah.
they'll show you, yeah? Yeah, like okay.
Yeah. There's a
no.
couple of them without mentioning names.
Right,
There's
right.
a couple of good ones. You look
You'll
them
probably
up.
find, on Google.
Yeah, and then you reach and you start seeing what's out there for sale. You know? I kind of rushed into my first office
Okay.
because I was in a point where the staff thought I'm gonna buy into the office. They were so excited. They're like, "Oh, Joey's gonna,
All right.
bring the next chapter to that office. He's gonna help. That's what we're waiting for.
Revolution.
Revolution. We're gonna change. Things are gonna be better.
Power
and,
to the people.
Yeah, power to the people. Let's go." And then that broke through, so I kind of felt like I let them down.
Right.
Yeah.
You just couldn't purchase it. It
Yeah,
just didn't work out.
It's complicated. It was complicated,
Right.
so we pulled out of the deal. Deal didn't go through.
Okay.
So I started looking for another office. At the time, one of the team members was ready to move to Ottawa. She was like, "If you're not buying, there's a big chance that I may move to Ottawa."
Okay.
And then at the same day, she was like, "Oh, there's an office in Ottawa for sale. Like, why don't you look into it?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You know what? Sounds like a good idea. I should jump into that."
Okay.
Yeah. So we took a look. We checked out the appraisal, got into the work. The bank gave me the support,
Okay.
and I purchased it through through RBC Bank. It really helped me. They were
Okay.
great. Wow. And it went smooth. Yeah, that's when I started Mersal Dental on 230 Dalhousie Street, downtown Ottawa.
Downtown Ottawa. Shout out to
Yeah.
Mersal Dental.
Yeah. And
Get your veneers.
it's been imagine it's been 5 years now.
5 years.
Yeah, we're breaking into 5 years.
And then, okay, so just before we get into Mersal Dental, purchasing your first clinic, what would you say was the biggest contributor to not failing? Because most businesses, as far as I can, as far as I know, most businesses fail within the first 2 years. So what was the biggest contributor for your business or your clinic to not fail in the first 2 years, or push past the 2 year mark?
Oh man. Not failing the 2 year mark. This is when I first got the office. This dentist bought a year before me.
Right.
When I bought my practice after a year from me owning, he went bankrupt
Oh wow.
and he had to close the office.
You had to shut down.
So and interest went up, right? So I purchased the office in 2022. Interest kicked up in 2023. It became around 7%. So I was like, "Oh my God, this is it.
That's tough.
This is where."
And
I'm
then
gonna
you
start
saw
drowning."
you
'Cause-
saw him bankrupt as well.
and I saw him bankrupt.
So you knew
So
it was
stress-
coming. It
Stress was coming. So I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I honestly give it up to 30% luck,
Okay.
30% head down customer service.
Good customer service.
So that's 60%. And I give the rest 40% to my team.
Good, like hiring good people.
I just got lucky with amazing people that work.
And
in
how
my
would
office.
that contribute to the success of the office? Like good customer service, as in like patient retention. They come back to you. And They get
Exactly.
more
Good
treatments?
dentistry, good customer service, and honesty.
Right.
know?
Honesty is a big thing. Yeah.
In our field, there's a lot of gray zone.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like I gotta sit down and I gotta be really honest with you. I can do my best, but this
Right.
is your chances.
Right.
You don't need this treatment.
Right.
You
You got to be able to tell your patients that they don't need the treatment that they want.
Exactly. It's like sometimes you're like, okay, but you're gonna spend all this money, but it's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be.
Right.
That gets you back. He leaves.
Right.
It gets you back another 10 patients that actually appreciate that you're really honest.
Of course, absolutely.
It's not just about drilling teeth. It's like you gotta give that, and that's a big flipper.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, congratulations on your very successful business. Just one question. So, we jumped from one clinic to 2 clinics.
Yeah.
What made you feel like you were ready to put on more work or more businesses?
I think you being close to graduation.
Is that the plan? Is that the plan?
No, there are 2 big factors. First of all, Mersal got to a level where it got busy. We were busy. There's no room to grow more. I have 4 ops. I have 2 hygienists, and I'm working from 2 ops. And it's in downtown, so the space is limited. I can't get more ops.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of new patients that I can't book in soon because we're booked up.
Right.
And then we got the idea of extending our hours in Mersal.
Uh-huh.
and maybe opening a different location or a second location, which we opened in early April, Waterridge Dentist.
April of 2025, 2024.
April 2025.
Oh,
That
wow.
was
Okay.
April 1st, 2025. The office was up and running. We have butts in the chairs, as they call it.
Butts in the chairs.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the first day that we started operating, and it's been a great process. It's a good experience because this one we started from scratch.
Right.
Yeah, right. We build it up. We got a commercial space. It taught me a lot about real estate. And shout out to Rachel. She's my broker that helped me do all these deals. She opened my eyes to commercial, and we got to get her on the podcast, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the people.
Absolutely.
That really so yeah, she helped process that second purchase of commercial, and open a second office, dealing with equipments,
Right.
the layout, the permits, the build out, the loans, the construction. You know, it was a great experience. Taught us. I feel like now after doing that, you really know your office
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Inside out. Huh?
inside out. Like because with Mersal, you know, I bought an existing office which
Right.
is up and running.
Right.
We talked about, you know, it was owned by a French-speaking dentist, all that. But Waterridge, that was a game changer.
From the ground up. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of your NDEB equivalency process, the exams, the job market as an associate, and practice ownership, which one would you say is the toughest part in your whole journey? Like, which one did you struggle with the most? Was it the exams? Was it finding a job? Was it opening the practice? Was it running the practice or expanding the practice? Which one would you say?
I definitely rate, the exams were number one.
Yeah.
Definitely. I that needs to be in a different category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exams are the tough part. Huh?
Yeah.
And then
it's a Hunger Games, man.
it's
And,
just easier from there.
Yeah, it's after that the rest is every step has its challenges. But
Right.
it's fun challenges, right? You're looking for jobs, you're doing interviews, you're
Huh?
going to banks, they're helping you with, get yourself up and running.
Right.
So yeah, out of all that, I feel like definitely the exams, man. That was the toughest process. That was the full challenge.
Okay, and then just pivoting back to the exams, what was the main thing that kept you going? You know, because 3 years and about $35,000 in debt, that's a lot of money. And it's a long time and of
You
just
should
being
invest
buried.
in what is that S&P 500?
S&P 500.
It would have got you a crazy return.
You would have been at 50,000 right now.
Maybe more. Yeah, when you think about it, I started the equivalence 2017 maybe.
Okay.
So, and I got my license, start working in 2020. I got my license at 2019, but I started working in 2020.
Okay.
So yeah, man, like if you put that
That's an
13%
investment. Give you
return.
investment advice right now. Financial advice with the Tameless Podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, no, 100%. It's totally worth it. It's a great experience, and it's a challenge, but it's totally worth it at the end. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pivot a little bit from dentistry into like personal advice a little bit, just for me and the sake of the listeners here. How do you? Because out of all the people I know in the world, I think you have the most consistent like work ethic, right? How do you keep that? How do you stay consistent every day? You work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours every single day. How do you do that? What keeps you going?
Maha, my kids.
My kids, okay?
Yeah, like Maha and Ali. And honestly, I enjoy what I do. I working in dentistry. I have 12-hour shifts.
Right. Yeah.
I work 12-hour shifts 3 days a week, and the other 3 days I work 9-hour shifts. So I work 6 days a week.
6 days a week.
Yeah.
12-hour shifts, 9-hour shifts.
About 3 hours. 3 days, 12-hour shifts. But in the same time, first of all, I have the greatest team that makes it fun.
Right.
And I head down and I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the process of it.
So in order to stay consistent, you have to have a good team and you have to enjoy what you're doing. Is that what you're saying?
100%. Yeah, you gotta enjoy the process, man. It's not a what is it called? It's not a race. It's a marathon.
Right. Yeah. It's not a
Yeah.
sprint. It's a marathon.
Yeah,
There you go.
It's not a sprint, is it?
Yeah, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. They're both races. but
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Sprint
yeah.
is a sprint.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You know who told me that?
Who said that?
My assistant in Manitouwadge.
Your assistant in Manitoba.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Jane. I don't know. I don't know if she's still alive or not. She was 85 years old.
Holy.
The best assistant.
85 years
The
old.
best assistant I ever had.
God damn.
She worked for 65 years.
65 years assisting, huh? Since she was
Assisting.
20 years old.
Office managing, assisting since she moved to Manitouwadge. Same office.
God damn. That's
You know?
consistency right
Oh
there.
my God. She been through all type of dentistry. She tells me, Joey, I'm there trying to do, production, focusing. And then she looks at me, she's like, take a deep breath. You know?
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Damn. Still remember it.
Straight up.
But I still mess it up.
You're still sprinting, eh?
Yeah.
You're still sprinting.
Still sprinting, man. No, it's a good balance. I try to balance it as much as I can, but I enjoy what I do. It's fun.
That's good.
Yeah. Gives you. So what do you think you're gonna do? What's your plan for this process?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So, for the viewers, I'm starting my process hopefully next year. I have to work for a year in Libya in order to get my degree and everything, right? So once I get my degree, so I'm gonna have to apply for the NDEB, right? Apply with my degree.
Yeah.
After that, I'm gonna have to start studying for the exams, right? So I'm looking into a couple of courses right now. There's a couple of good preparatory courses. I've seen a couple that do online, a couple that do in person. Since it's a year away, I'm still considering my options.
Yeah.
But hopefully, by the time I'm there, I'm gonna be done with my degree and then start my preparatory course while my paperwork is still getting processed.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah,
Because we talked about the whole 6 months to 9 months process.
6 months, 9 months, I'm waiting, so might as well just study hard for the exams and then hopefully, because there's a little bit of luck there. So once I'm done with my exams, hopefully I get good grades and then I apply. Like I do the rest. I do the second exam, third exam. I am planning on starting to do Uber, right? So I just got my full G license.
There you go.
Yeah,
Uber is part of the process, man.
it's part of the grind,
You
right?
gain experience, patience.
So I just got my full license, right? Driver's license
Yeah,
here
yeah.
in Canada. After that, I'm gonna apply for an auto loan, right, to finance a car,
Yeah.
get a car, start working for Uber, pay for my car. Hopefully, I'm making like 5,000-6,000 a month. So that way, I can pay for my car and also finance my studies if I save enough money for my studying, right? And then so after I take the first exam, second exam, third exam. Once I'm done, I'm here. I'm working in Mersal Dental too.
Yeah, we'll put you in the pool. Start putting those 12-hour shifts. Yeah, so it's a great process, man.
The money's good, huh?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice you want to give to the? So if someone is just starting like me, right, or one of our listeners, because we're gonna post it in a lot of the, preparatory course groups and stuff, right? So we're gonna post this interview, and if there's any like advice you would give to someone who's just starting, should they work and study? Should they focus on working at one part and then study at one part? Should they get it over with as soon as possible or take their sweet time and make sure they're ready? Like, what kind of advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I think working and studying is a matter of how good is your finance to cover your expenses. Because the less you work, the better your chances of passing.
Okay.
Because it's work, right?
Right.
So I think the balance of, I would say 70% study
Mm-hmm.
and 30% work.
Okay.
Focus on taking every step seriously. Really put your head down. Really
Put
want
your
to
head
hit the
down.
books. You want to make sure your fundamentals strong. And if you have any free time, work. Because it's an expensive process,
Okay.
right? So that's 70-30. If you're not studying, you're working. If you're not working, you're sleeping to charge, to study, or work.
God damn. Sounds like a good life, huh?
For 2 years. But it's like winning the lottery every month.
And what would you say the biggest distractions would be? Like for a guy like me, you know, I'm 30 years old right now.
Oh, man.
Is it?
I think distractions, anything that are not work or study, should be out of the table.
Out of the table, out of question.
Yeah, it's you head down and you study and you make sure you see your eyes are on the prize, right? You make sure you're be able to deliver that comfortable life as working as a dentist in Canada, making reasonable income, and living in a very comfortable way. So and the sky's the limit after that. So I definitely say it's totally worth it. Just make sure you're prepared. Take it serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. I have another question for your practice ownership. So when you owned your first practice, how much would you say, or how important would you say the marketing was for that practice? Like,
Oh.
do you have to do the TikTok dances? Did you have to do
Oh my
Instagram
God,
reels?
Did you see our TikTok?
Yeah, I did. That's why I asked.
Yeah. Let's try to see
you
if
wanna,
we can.
You want to put one of the TikToks
Yeah,
on?
let's see to post one of
Alright,
the TikToks.
Give me 1 second.
We're working on our media skills on that, putting it. So yeah, marketing was a great touch that Mayde, you got us in the table, man. You opened my eyes to marketing. Mayde's a marketing genius. So we worked on a lot of marketing is very important. We worked on Google
How much
ads.
would you say you budget for marketing?
I started budgeting. I remember when we first had this conversation before. I started budgeting. The first time I budgeted for marketing I was budgeting around $1,500, $2,000, and now we spend anywhere between $5,000 to $7,000 in marketing.
Wow, $5,000 to $7,000 a month in marketing.
Yeah, but that's like distributed in a lot of different ways, right? So you got the social media marketing, we got Google ads, we got events.
Oh yeah.
Sponsoring teams.
Okay.
Sponsoring marathons. We sponsored the coldest night in Ottawa. That was a great experience. It was so much fun. And hopefully we're trying to sponsor the marathon, the upcoming marathon in Ottawa. I want to be part of that. And Red Blacks.
Okay. The Red Blacks, the team, right?
The Red Blacks, we're trying to put like sponsors and ads, commercials and stuff on that as well in the game.
Okay.
Because every year I take my staff, we go to the game, we watch the game. It gave us good offers on marketing, so that was a great experience.
Right.
And it changed the practice.
That's good.
It's a great experience.
What about investing? What's your biggest investment? You want me to put the
What is that alert?
Yeah. There's a missing lady.
Are you gonna be able to?
Do you want me to put up the?
Yeah, one of our TikToks.
Put the TikTok up. All right. Give me a second. Here we go. Let me just change this up a little bit because it's long. Yeah.
So this is one of our Mersal TikToks. Yeah, this is a Mersal TikTok. Yo, the team does a great job on this. Look at that. Yeah. Funny stuff like that. It takes the team like 10 minutes to make. We do, and it's fun.
Yeah, you enjoy doing TikToks?
Yeah, man.
Do you think it's crucial? Do you think it's important in this day and age to do TikToks as a dentist? Do the TikTok dances, you know what I mean?
I don't know if it's crucial. I think it's becoming part of the dental culture.
Yeah.
It's like you're the boring office that doesn't do TikToks.
Ah, okay.
You don't want to be that guy.
In order to fit in with everybody else, you have to do the.
I don't think we do it because we want to fit in. I think we do it because we have fun doing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It is so much fun.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like when we see it, then the comments come in. It's like, what is this dentist doing?
It's like a
This dentist
generational thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this dentist looks like he's a Gen Z or whatever. You know, what the hell?
he's a fun dentist, huh?
Yeah, it's fun. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No, the
important.
team.
It's important to do that. You know,
Yeah.
be a fun dentist.
Yeah, to summarize everything up, it's like, you know, today we had the conversation about talking about the process, dentistry, how to become a dentist in Canada, the good steps, you know, how to. We talked a little bit about ownership and.
Yeah,
process.
we talked about here. I'm taking notes the whole time.
That's great.
We talked a little bit about the NDEB process. We talked a little bit about exams. You know, how to do them, how much they're gonna cost. We also talked about the job market here as a dentist. You know, whether or not you should work in a rural area or in the city. You know, you mentioned your Manitouwadge, and we also talked about practice ownership, and then we talked about, you know, your personal advice to future dentists. And if anybody has any questions or anything, you can always leave them down below in the comment section. This is a podcast. It's called Tameless Podcast. We're running it every week. Dr. Mersal is going to be running it. I'm just a guest here.
Maybe helped up with all the settings. if you guys have any comments on the settings and the stuff and the voice, that's all Mayde, man.
Yeah, let us
Thanks
know.
a lot, man.
Let us know
Appreciate
in the comment box below, and thank you so much for listening.
All right, you guys have a great night.
Peace.